Today we're going to talk about 356 carburetors. This is a particular one we're going to tear apart is a Zenith carburetor. You could have Zeniths, you could have Solexes, you could have Webers, you may even have a DeLorto. But today we're going to tell you just basically the internal parts of a Zenith. If you happen to venture into this or just curious about it, I'll just show you, just scatter it for you and just look at it. Alright, so here it is. Basically we've already taken this apart and already inspected it. It's basically just send it off to get it cleaned, or take it and clean it basically. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our 8mm nut driver and just take the top off, okay? Pay attention to the screws. Use the nut driver instead of the slots. The slots a lot of times tear out, so you want to use a nut driver to actually put it on there. It also has a lock washer on it. Okay. Each carburetor is different. So the Solexes are not like the Zeniths, and the Zeniths are not like the Webers. Each one is unique. Okay. We remove our screws. Circular pattern here. Lay everything out so that you can put it back together in the same order you took it apart. And I recommend having a nice, clean, flat work area. Okay, because a lot of these parts are really, really small. And if you drop one and you're working on a sawdust floor, you're never going to find it. Okay, pay attention. This is your accelerator pump. Pay attention to it, to what slot it's in. It's going 1 to 3, okay? I've already taken the clip off of it, but it's got a teeny, tiny little clip right there. See that? Okay, and a little bitty spring and a little bitty washer. But basically what you're looking for is just like that, okay? It's got the clip, the washer, and then the spring, okay? And it just holds pressure against it, just retains it. Pop that loose, pull it out. Here's your accelerator pump. Accelerator pump, you just take this lever and you push it down all the way. You take your pair of pliers, remove your cotter pin. I'll have a little cotter pin right there. Then you just get the right angle and you pop that right out. You should have a new one of these in your rebuild kit. Alright, this is your needle and seat. This is basically your on-off switch for your fuel supplied to the float bowl. That'll also be in your rebuild kit. Okay, so now that's ready. Take a flathead screwdriver, remove this screw here. Basically, okay, there you go. Lay it so you can find it. Now I'll write this jet sizes down just so I can keep a record of what's in what, and just in my own head. One side should match the other. So if I have a 210 jet here, I should have a 210 jet here. If I have a 55 here, I should have a 55 here. If that makes sense, okay? What you do on one side should be done on the other. Okay. Alright. Now these can be really tight fit and it can be really fun to get out of there. Don't expect it to be as easy as that. This is your emulsion tube. Okay, there's some describing markings on it there. They should match the other markings on the other one. Okay, and it just slides right in there, okay? Really simple. Same thing with this one. Just wiggle it and it pops up. And you want to make sure that you got a good this assembly on the carburetor, because it has lots of really small passages, and if one of those passages are stopped up with some gunk or funk, a lot of times it won't run right. Alright, really small jets right here, okay, and right there and right there, 2 jets there. Alright, this is your float, okay, this controls the fuel flow. As the fluid level gets good, level in the fuel bowl, as it drops down, it allows more fuel to enter. When more fuel is entered and it starts to fill up, it pushes up, pushes on the needle and seat, and closes off the fuel. Okay, check your float, rattle it, make sure you don't hear gas slosh, and squeeze it, make sure no gas comes out of the seals. Alright, now this here, there's little O-rings right there. You'll get new ones in the kit. Okay, and behind that are these little things right here. This is what squirts when you press your accelerator pump. You hit your accelerator. You get one on each barrel. Okay, now this is where your jets are. These are your mains. Pay attention in your kit. Sometimes you won't have that little washer right there. Sometimes it'll be a fiber washer. It needs to be a metal washer. If it provides you with a fiber washer, keep your metal one. Also, there's an O-ring, a black O-ring that goes right here. In your new kit, it'll be circle, but it's a square on there. It'll fit. Okay, we're going to pull our jets out. Pay attention that the ones with the holes that you can see are the bottom ones. The ones that you cannot are the top ones. Okay, again, we use our nut driver to remove them, not a screwdriver. We're going to put all this in the carburetor cleaner, minus the seals. Okay, now your mixture screws, and undo them. Now the way to do this a lot of times is to take this, by rule of thumb, when you put it together, if you read your instructions, it'll tell you how to set it on a base setting, okay? What you can do is just count your turns in. You can set it back the same way. Usually it doesn't work though, because if you're building your carburetors, you're building them for a reason. And if you clean out some trash and you put it back to the same settings, it's still not going to run right. You still got to adjust them. And I wouldn't recommend that a novice mechanic try to adjust carburetors, because it's very complicated. You have to have a tuned ear for it. You got to know the feel of it. These flathead screws right here also have lock washers on them, if you see them there. And make sure that you use the appropriate size screwdriver, one that goes all the way across, okay, that you get a good bite on the screw. Another thing you need to check is your throttle plate. Check them for wear. You know, check side to side. It'll be on the shaft side that the linkage is hooked to. It's where your wear is. See, there's a real slight amount of movement. That's okay. If you have a lot, that's bad. You got to send it out and get them machined and bushings put in it. Normally, when you have throttle plate or throttle shaft wear, the car won't idle down either. Okay, so yeah, make sure you get all your lock washers. Alright, so there, we're done with our base. Set that to the side. Got a couple in here to take off. Now this one here, this is where a lot of people mess up. This one right here, get your little seal, right there, aluminum seal. This has a check valve in it. It goes in the bottom of the float bowl. It will go in place of this one. Okay, this is where you set your float level. It does not have a check valve, and you can interchange these. And that causes problems, so don't do that. Alright, remember, check valve, bottom fuel bowl. Alright, this one comes apart. This is also a check valve. Pull that apart right there. It's got an itty bitty little spring and an itty bitty little valve. See that? You get that out of there, make sure there's no gunk in it. Okay, now we take a really big screwdriver, one that spans all the way across, and pull this apart, okay? And no, they're not normally this clean. Normally they're really funky by the time you decide to build one or whatever. And if you need any help with this, you can call us or contact us through our web page or email or whatever, and get in touch with us, and we'll be glad to maybe use this video to help walk you through this. Or you can also mail your carburetors to us, and we'll be glad to help you there and fix them and get them back to you, okay? But remember that if I have to mail you a carburetor, it's up to you to find somebody that's comparable to set them. Remember that part. These two we don't ever take out, because basically what that does is change the venturi. There's no reason to take those out. But we have now a scattered, nothing in it, middle section. That's basically it. We'll clean all these parts up, put them in the carburetor cleaner, put it back together, put it on the carburetors, and set the carbs. We'll have to try to get some more videos up on Solexes and the rest of them too. But basically that's the layout of a Zenith carburetor. Keep watching, and you can reach us here, Eurasian Auto, Birmingham, 205-251-9263. Contact us via email through the webpage.